Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of The Mandalorian. This is episode number 3, chapter 19. Zuko is up bright and early, ready to hog the spotlight. And I read something very interesting when I was going on to the episode itself on Disney Plus. And, normally the descriptions are quite vague, not very spoilery. One thing it did kind of give away is that we are going back to Coruscant, which is very interesting. I mean, we know in the trailer that there were a couple of shots of a Coruscant-like planet, though I think most of us assumed it was Hosnian Prime, given the fact that in the post-Empire world, Coruscant, depending on what canon they're going for, certainly in the old canon, Coruscant falls into a kind of a chaos, a post-Imperial chaos, where I think it's Masa Maida tries to take control as a warlord, and it still remains as the Empire's capital for a short while, but by no means is it the New Republic capital at any point. It is, I believe, not Corellia, it's Mon Mothma's homeworld. That becomes the immediate Republic's capital. Before it moves around, it bounces around and eventually ends up at Hosnian Prime. But Hosnian Prime is one of those planets that, obviously is similar to, Coruscant. It's quite urban. It's a mass cityscape. But it looks like it is going to be Coruscant that we're getting. So that's interesting. First time we'll see Coruscant in a post-original trilogy setting, I think. So, we got Mandalore last week, which was exciting. That was a very strange but exciting episode. The big mech monster that was lurking in the caves of Mandalore. Obviously, we got a better idea of, Grogu is now becoming more than just a side character. He's actually becoming someone who is able to do things on his own. We saw him go and get Bo-Katan, who came back to Mandalore and rescued Din, and there was a lot of really good shots in there of Bo-Katan, returning to Mandalore, and just seeing the physical reaction on her face was really cool. And as I said in the reaction last week, for those of us who have seen the Clone Wars and we understand more about the history of Mandalore, Bo-Katan's history on Mandalore, it was really, kind of great to see her reaction to going back to her home. Not necessarily her home, I guess, but, where she grew up, where her family was based, I feel like she doesn't probably place that as a home so much, but it was a really cool, interesting episode, and at the end of it, we got the Mythosaur kind of tease. So again, I'm wondering how that's going to affect Bo-Katan, whether it's going to give her some kind of a boost, make her believe again that Mandalore can be returned to its previous glories. It was pretty cool to see her with the Darksaber, I have to say. But yeah, I get the feeling she's going to be much less of an antagonist now. And who knows, maybe she's going to team up with Din once again, because I'm still waiting for Moff Gideon to show up. But I imagine this is the episode where we're going to see him if we're going back to Coruscant. Either that or Dr. Pershing. That's one of the two that I think we'll see. And they're really trying to tie in the cloning doctors in Bad Batch at the moment. So, I'm wondering if the 2 seasons running simultaneously is no small coincidence. And it might be that, cloning is a heavy kind of theme, through the shows right now. So, anyway, we're going to jump in. I'm going to see if I can get Zuko to let me see the screen. And, let's watch the episode. Oh, he's not going to have seen the Mythosaur, is he? If he was unconscious, Bo's going to be the only one who saw it.
Like what?
Nothing. Let's get out of here.
She's not going to tell him. Interesting.
I'm guessing that helmet isn't coming off again.
This is the way.
This is the way. At least she says it. He's gonna say it. That's gonna be his first words. Oh shit, TIE fighters.
Coming up on us fast.
I love the TIE interceptors. They're my favourite TIE fighters. So good to see them again.
I won't be able to slow down for the drop.
You think a castle would have... That's so cool. You think a castle would have some defences. Nice.
Of course, it's been a while.
Poor R5. Damn, what a shot. You've got to love a fixed camera shot. Like that. God damn, I love it. Those flexible wings. Whoa.
Hang on. I'm seeing something on the scope.
It's going to be a Star Destroyer, isn't it? Yep. They're bombing the castle. Yeah, oh, TIE bombers. It's the whole shebang here. Yeah, those TIE bombers are not as maneuverable as interceptors.
There's too many of them. We've got to get out of here.
Go. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. No way. Is that the same opera hall? This isn't too I mean, we had the public display. This is the same as what happened to Nazi scientists after World War II. They all went to America and lived their lives there.
My work explored was the hopes of combining multiple strands to create replicas that incorporated the best genetic
Ah, okay.
of both donors.
Hence why they wanted Grogu. I can't believe they brought back the fucking Opera House.
Rejected the formula.
You know, I was almost drafted. Imagine me serving.
Oh, darling, that was the
Oh,
Oh,
of course, the role of the
Empire,
upper class
I
folk.
can't keep track. That's why I should just keep my mouth shut.
Congratulations on making it into the program.
Could you not swivel your head like that?
Have you been in
Could you watch where you're going?
No.
Well, I think you will find it a very lovely city.
Join us for a drink.
So, Amnesty Housing is where all the former Imperials...
Amnesty Officer M34.
Amnesty scientist, L52.
Is this smart?
What do you mean?
No, that was just the cover story. I heard they hooked him up to a mind flayer.
A mind flayer, that's some...
About him anymore.
That is some deep old canon.
The rehabilitation program I can contribute to the New Republic.
No, I'm glad that the Empire is.
Oh, not like that. Of course.
He reminds me of the TIE pilot from Squadrons.
Food.
It's funny how
Morning, L52.
nothing seems to have changed
Another
on Coruscant.
table.
It's like, on one hand, you've got the data processing center in Andor. Oh, wow. We're going on a full-on journey on Coruscant, and I'm here for it.
That is the peak of Umate, highest mountain on Coruscant.
They
They say it's the only place on the entire surface where you can see the planet itself.
That makes sense. The cities are built over the planet. So that is the peak of Mount Everest. Probably 20, 30,000 feet above the actual surface.
You want to touch it?
Have a nice day.
Again, amnesty, demilitarization, understanding, cooperation, they're all great in principle. But, as we know, the world is more pragmatic. And this is what eventually leads to the downfall of the New Republic.
I just need to prove it.
Sounds like you want to continue it.
Yep. He has good intentions, but it's going to lead him to a bad place.
Well, not much to get started.
Sleep on it, okay?
Because she's doing a classic manipulation job here. You know, and she doesn't seem like the type of person to have gotten rid of her loyalty to the Empire so easily.
Not only do we have the Imperial disposal yards to inventory, but we're still decommissioning the Alliance fleet. I'm sure you understand.
I just think
See, they're getting rid of all of the
Prior
military.
authorization from the department.
and that supersedes everything else.
It does.
There you go. There's your logic.
For continuing to be an important part of the amnesty program. Have a nice day.
It's the problem of having a droid counselor. They can't pick up on the signals. Right now, it's red flag, red flag, red flag.
Tomorrow night?
You hear the guttural, almost Palpatine-like sounds.
It's the right thing to do.
Poor guy is so easily manipulated because of his, you know, beliefs and his morals. Oh, wow. That doesn't seem safe.
You can do it.
I like how they're using actual sound effects from the tube. Yep. This was the shot that was in some trailers, but not in others. God damn, such beautiful ships. And they're just being stripped apart. They are the tiniest torches I've ever seen. Yes! They're with the Empire. I think. Or did she just sell them out?
Raise your hands up into two.
Wait, was she playing an entirely different manipulation game? No. I don't know.
I wasn't
here
trying
to help you. Indoctrination by the Empire is challenging to overcome.
That doesn't look the most friendly of machines.
Approved for rehabilitation.
No, it's a mind
Ah.
That's a similar device, but we found at low voltages it can be used to help
Wow.
select
I love that. I love that. It's like, yeah, it is still the same evil torture device, but we'll put it on the lowest setting.
You're gonna wipe my mind.
What is her game? I honestly thought it was the other way around. She's going to turn the setting up to full.
You're welcome to stay.
She's playing double agent here, I can tell. Yep. Why would you leave that device unguarded? Would you just leave someone there just to be able to turn up the whole thing? Why is there even the ability to turn it up?
I was witness.
And who are you, Night Owl?
Night Owl, yeah. She doesn't.
I am Bo-Katan of Clan Kreese.
Your house has fallen from the way.
I was going to say, how are they going to know for sure? It's got
Speaks the truth.
some kind of magical aura.
These are indeed the living waters. By creed, you too are redeemed.
Huh? Okay.
But
Not-
I do not walk the way. Did you bathe in the waters?
She did.
I did. And have you removed your helmet since?
No.
No. Welcome, Bo-Katan of Clan Kreese. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. She's one of them. That's that's weird. That's a twist that I didn't think about. And he's not going to be happy. damn, I love these kinds of episodes where it's like really slow paced and character focused. Getting to see like Coruscant at, I guess technically at its prime in the New Republic was certainly something. The fact that now we're at a place where we can use CGI to make it look much more realistic. I mean, don't get me wrong, the prequels for the time, their CGI was great, but clearly hasn't aged very well. And, Coruscant, I don't think it looks as vibrant. A lot of the shots are in the daytime, whereas here they can utilize a lot of the lighting effects and make it, obviously nighttime shots are much more effective. You've got like, the neon, the kind of the city lighting. It's kind of, it's like being in a big bustling city, but in the future and scaled up massively. And I just like the idea that, it showed you kind of normal life on Coruscant. There's a theme park with, magicians and all kinds, and there's attractions. And, the idea that the tallest peak on the entire planet is just there, just like on the level for everyone to touch. And again, it adds to the lore, it adds to the history of Coruscant, because this is the first time that we've gotten to see it, since, I mean, the new Disney canon came in, really. Obviously the old canon established that Coruscant became a bit of an isolated world where, Masa Maida tried to take over. It was still an Imperial remnant for many years, which is why, the New Republic capital was located on Chandrilla for a while. And so to see it still, I mean, in almost the same state as before the war was kind of surprising. I know it's been like 4 or 5 years since the war ended, but, very much like the people at that opera house said, they just stay out of it. They ignore it. It doesn't matter what badge it is that's on there for the people, and especially the people who are living the high life on Coruscant. To them, the politics of the universe, of the galaxy, the oppression, the freedom, it doesn't matter to them because they live the high life. And, I think what this episode did really well in 2 parts was to show you, how people on Coruscant, could easily ignore the crimes of the Empire, and how it would be very easy to fall in line as an Imperial citizen in the core worlds, which is why a lot of the rebellion takes place in the Outer Rim. It also does a really good job at showing you why the New Republic is so ineffective at, governing. It's like, it's only been 4 or 5 years. There are still Imperial remnants out there, and they're demilitarizing already. They made the point of, not only are they decommissioning Imperial ships that they could use, I mean, at its height, it had 25,000 Star Destroyers. The New Republic gets nowhere near that. And, they're decommissioning their old Alliance fleet as well. So, I know that they're making the odd Starhawk out of, Star Destroyer parts, but it's not a match for, what's needed on a galactic scale, which is why eventually, you see 30 years later, the First Order is able just to rise up, destroy Hosnian Prime, and that's pretty much eliminated the New Republic. Because, they took their eye off the ball. It's like the pacifism of the New Republic is ideal in another time. Like, a post-war setting is not the time for you to demilitarize. You need to have a little bit of pragmatism to be able to survive and thrive before you can ultimately change the attitudes and the mindsets of a galaxy. And, if it wasn't the First Order, it would have been a crime syndicate. It would have been, some kind of uprising. There would have been something that would have caused the New Republic to fall, because they're living in an idealistic world. Again, the core world's very much isolated and ignorant to what's happening in the rest of the galaxy. And the New Republic is a prime kind of indicator of that. Even, like, using, android, kind of psychiatrists, they're not seeing the red flags that I could have seen, with Dr. Pershing. It's like, it's clear that he's conflicted. It's clear that, he's having issues, accepting his role in the new society. And I loved the way that they kind of used him to show that even a good intended person can fall into bad habits. And, I had this kind of debate online over the Last of Us finale about Joel and how, his good intentions were ultimately still bad actions. You can intend to do something good, to help someone, to save someone, to make humanity better, to make the galaxy better, but if your actions directly cause harm or go against your own morals, those good intentions are null and void. The classic saying, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. And that's really what Dr. Pershing is here. And, the communications officer, I forget her name already, did a fantastic job of manipulating him. And what I'm really surprised is that, I think this is a double agent thing here where, she is still working for Moff Gideon, but I'm confused as to the whole go around of why would she give him up to the New Republic to then just kill him? Because I would have thought that Moff Gideon would still want him to, clone stuff, but maybe he's proven unreliable. I don't. It was just a very complicated dance that, she took him on, only just to betray him and then seemingly completely destroy his mind. Because that's what that Mind Flayer does. And that Mind Flayer is a deep cut to some old lore. And I'm surprised it was more than just a mention here. That's another thing, is the New Republic is we're better than the Empire, But here we're using their old torture devices, their old kind of mind-wiping devices. But it's okay because we use them on the lowest setting. It's like hypocrisy. It's showing you the hypocrisy of the New Republic and how, again, in many ways, it's the Empire reskinned, But, I just found it so refreshing to see a different perspective again. And, it'd be interesting to see if anyone is really annoyed about the fact that this wasn't really a Mandalorian episode. I remember back when the Book of Boba Fett came out, and we got that entire episode where we barely saw Boba Fett, and people were like, this is the Boba Fett show, not the Mandalorian show. Well, this time, it's the Mandalorian show, not the Dr. Pershing show. And they both tie into the story. Ultimately Mando tied into the Boba Fett story, and Dr. Pershing still will probably tie into this story here. So it's interesting how, this episode, other than the very beginning and the very end, was pretty much an isolated, non-Mandalorian episode. And I say that, I mean Din Djarin, not Mandalorian in general. But no, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being back on Coruscant, seeing it, day to day. But I'm just a little bit confused about where they're going here with the Dr. Pershing thing. The whole kind of double betrayal doesn't. I'm still trying to figure it out in my head as to why she would go through all that effort to get him his lab, and to then, I don't know if they got caught and it was unintended, and so she just played it off. I don't know. I don't think so. I think she did genuinely turn him in. And then, she zapped his brain. And I don't know why, whether it's they don't want him to be able to give his research to the New Republic. That's my main guess, is the fact that, whilst he wants to carry on his work, he wants it to benefit the New Republic. Maybe that was the thing that, we can't risk having this fall into New Republic hands. If we can't have it, the Empire can't have it, no one can. Maybe that's what it was. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for the next one.